Righto everybody, today on this installment of this Action 52 extravaganza, I guess you could call it, I'm actually going to be going through every single one of the flying shooting games. Now, the reason why I'm not going to be doing playthroughs of all these is because there is just so many of them, and also simply because they're all fucking shit. Now, this is basically just going to be including all the games that are basically like scrolling page and, you know, shooting stuff, and just anything that involves shooting. And I think I'm actually going to leave Fire Breather just for now and do it some other time. We're going to start with Star Evil. Now we're going to notice one little thing about it, which is simply this. It starts you with an obstacle right at the beginning of the game, which is fucking stupid, I might add. But what do you expect? It's Action 52. I've kind of grown to ignore all the fucking flaws in this game because I've played it so many times just to beat every fucking game that it's just gotten ridiculous. But of course, being that this is the second game on the cartridge, you know, it pretty much sets the tone for every other piece of shit on the cartridge. Also, take note, what the hell am I shooting? It looks like I'm shooting Q-tips. Whatever, here comes the boss, and one thing you'll notice about the boss is basically the fact that he has no pattern whatsoever. You'll never be able to guess what the hell he's going to do, you'll never know when he's going to come down and rape you, you'll never know what the hell to do. So basically all you can do is just mash buttons and hope to God you don't die. And what do you know, I've made it to level 2 and there was a blockade right at the beginning of the level again. I guess they were just trying to keep it consistent. But whatever, this game sucks, let's move on to the next one. Alright, the next space shooter on our game, on this cartridge, is G-Force. Which, if you just go right down to the bottom, you're fine. Oh wait, no, I fucked up, sorry. If you just go down to the bottom here and just keep shooting, you'll be fine. See? I'm not getting touched. I don't even have to shoot. It's fucking pathetic. But whatever, that's G-Force for you, so that's Space Shooter number 2. And I don't know what the hell I was playing as there, but whatever. I'm currently, at the moment, I'm actually working on a playthrough of Silver Sword, but that, I know that doesn't have anything to do with anything, but I figured I'd point it out. But anyways, moving on to Critical Bypass, and this is one of the worst games on the cartridge, I might add, for 2 reasons. One, it looks horrible and you can barely tell what the hell you're doing, and second, simply the fact that if you want to shoot at something, you have to be moving in the direction that you're shooting in order to do that. For example, if you want to shoot up, you better be moving up before you do it. And it looks like I'm shooting birthday presents, but whatever. So yeah, being that you can't see and the controls are broken, this game is a fucking waste and is already broken, and I can't even be arsed making it past the first level. So fuck it, let's move on to the next space shooter. So that's Space Shooter number 3. Moving on to Jupiter Scope. And, well, it's basically like a Space Invaders ripoff, except it looks like shit and there's pretty much nothing to shoot at. Not to mention, if you just keep firing, nothing will ever come down. Look. So that proves that wrong. But just wait for it, there's some fucking meteors, even though they look fuck all like meteors. But not to mention, if you actually look this game up, you'll find that in order to beat it, you actually have to shoot down 310. Yes, I'm not joking, 310 meters have to be shot down before the game is finished. Which is a fucking fail. Whatever, moving along. The next space shooter, I suppose I'll count Operation Full Moon because the page scrolls and for some reason he's not shooting. I don't know why, and that's it, the game's broken. Well, I can't play it, my emulator's fucking up for some reason on that, but yeah, it looks like shit. It's the next one, which I think, sorry I lost count, so you got Star Evil, G-Force, Critical Bypass, Jupiter Scope, Operation Full Moon, and Thrusters being the 6th space shooter, I suppose. And there's not much to say about this other than, once again, it's not shooting. Oh wait, no, there we go, now it's shooting. And if you keep firing, nothing will ever come near you. Look. I think the game works on a time limit because I don't think you have to shoot everything in order to win. So whatever, that's thrusters for you. And it's also totally glitched up, but I'm not going to go into that. I may as well count sharks because I'm probably never going to do a playthrough of this. And all you do is, guess what? Shoot sharks. But guess what? Half the fucking time the sharks never show up and there's no fucking point. So it shows that the game is bloody broken. Look, where are the sharks? Why? Okay, there's one. But the thing is that you barely have any time to react before the fucking things come on screen. So fuck this. But whatever. Moving on to the next one. I think is Megalonia, which is, well, this. And it's probably the worst space shooter out of the lot because you can only shoot one at a time, and well, it basically just runs off screen and you have to wait for that to happen before you can shoot again. Not to mention it's nearly impossible to shoot anything to begin with. But whatever. Oh, there's the pink McDonald's arches. Whatever. So yeah, that's Megalonia for you. Moving on, Atmosquake. So this is space shooter number 8, I think. And there's not much to say other than it's basically thrusters in disguise. Alright, moving on to the second page. Space Dreams is our next one. And you play as a dummy flying through space. And I use the term space lightly. And you can always shoot one at a time, and you shoot teddy bears and shit. I suggest you stay near the edge of the screen so that way you can shoot faster. Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. I had a save state planned from when I was playing Silver Sword. I usually place save states through so that I'm pretty sure I don't die. But whatever. Here's Spread Fire. And you play as a lobster in space, and sometimes when you shoot at enemies they don't die. And you're shooting what appear to be boogers, but whatever. But of course this time you can only scroll left and right. And of course half the time there's nothing to shoot at. And not to mention it looks like shit compared to everything else. So whatever. Moving on to the next one, which oddly enough is Rocket Jockey. And believe it or not, this is probably the easiest game on the cartridge because all you have to do is just go to the bottom of the screen and keep shooting. Not to mention, this game can actually be completed in a minute and a half. You know what? Fuck it. I'm actually going to play through this whole game. Yeah, this seems really exciting, doesn't it? I'm going to try and beat this as quickly as possible, but, you know, the game is based on a time limit, so all I gotta do is keep shooting, and here we are at level 2, and I fucking died. So go back to the bottom of the screen and just keep firing. So there's really not much to say about this game other than it's a fucking waste. Oh dear. Not to mention the background looks like shit. I mean seriously, it looks like I painted it. Although I do wonder, what would it look like if we paused it? No, it looks exactly the fucking same. I thought, you know, the images were scrolling by too fast, but no, it's Action 52, so it's bound to look like utter crap. So whatever, let's just keep moving with this, and there we go, I have beat fucking Rocket Jockey. There we go. Alright, let's move along. The next space shooter, if I'm not mistaken, is... oh, I suppose, actually, you know what, its next shooter is Shooting Gallery, which will flash like shit, and then you shoot at stuff and it doesn't die. Or whatever, pause the game and hit select, and you'll find that the game will fucking crash. So, to make things go quicker, I'm just gonna go like that. Go to that. And sorry that the thing sounds so weird, I had it on PAL emulation there. But yeah, back to the second page. The next shooter, if I'm not mistaken, is They Came. They came from where? I wonder. And then the screen flashes to shit. And then you get a power up. And then another power up. And basically this is a power up collector. There's not much to do. And you just keep shooting and there's not much. It's basically an asteroid ripoff, so fuck it. And you try to reset and you'll find the game crashes. So fucking use my Silver Sword save state to get out of there again. The next one was Laser League, spelled with a Z oddly enough, and well, it's just some ginger dude on a jetpack flying through space with a laser. Not much to say beyond that. Let's move along. Bits and pieces, Manchester, Boss, Hambo, and I think that's about it pretty much. That's all the scrolling shooters I can find, so thank you very much for watching this very educational playthrough of all the space shooters or shooting games on Action 52.